You should use a condom before you listen.
The American dream is dead.
John Lisle, L.A. Lloyd, and Drew Bennett, Beaver Cool Aid.
2019, baby!
Welcome to the Christmas show. And, the
Halloween show, too, right? Or the Thanksgiving show.
We were supposed to come back to do a Christmas show, and that didn't ever happen.
I purposely derailed that because I knew that you were going to get sentimental.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, the AC was running, because this is the South. It was turned down low since Mama had the desire to throw a big Yule log on top of the fire. All right, I'll stop there. I had a whole 2 pages of this, but I didn't get to do it, man. I was kind of bummed out. So I got 2 pages of.
You could have just done a solo appearance, Lloyd.
Sometimes you got to.
You don't need us for that.
Man. You got to throw it away. Sometimes it doesn't work out. You don't have time for it.
Beaver Cool Aid special.
Yeah, I missed it. So.
Sorry, man.
2019. So, did you guys have a good holiday? Did everything go your way? Did you get what you wanted from Santa Claus?
I did. I got 10 days in North Carolina and went to visit my old college roommate who was gravely ill, and he was on the rebound when I got to his home, and that was kind of one of those almost Hallmark type movie things where you go see your roommate. He's almost dying, and I walked in the door. I said, "Hey, man, it's great to see you." He's like, "Well, I figured since you were coming, it's better to be seen than viewed." So there it was. Yeah. So he decided to live a little longer, which I was pretty happy.
Well, were you wearing a red scarf and like a khaki overcoat?
I think I was
just what I think.
I was wearing
what I think of when I think of Hallmark movies.
Some Eddie Bauer wear, I had on some Eddie Bauer wear.
Yeah, he's got some Eddie Bauer wear. Yeah, right, exactly. Little J. Crew action.
Yeah.
Goes to the J. Crew catalog.
So it was good. It was
excellent.
Good. Yeah.
I'm glad you had that. What about you, John?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's like I think for a lot of people it was that little strange ride from Thanksgiving till a week ago.
Yeah.
I had sickness, death, people, no people, allergies, stuff. And here we are. Boom!
I missed you.
2019, baby. Survived it.
I missed you guys. Everyone's like, I had a couple of tweets on there. It's like someone sent me the Kool-Aid picture. The little cartoon guy's like, "Hey, where's the Kool-Aid?" I didn't even know how to reply. I was like, "Well, I think it's coming back, and here we are. We're here."
Life got in the way. I mean, the
life gets in the way sometimes.
Travel, yeah, and that's what.
And Drew, you?
Oh, I had a great holiday. Yeah, I got a divorce. I moved into a new apartment. I'm having a budget for the first time in 8 years, and my dog died. But it was a good.
So that sounds really good.
Yeah,
I think you got us beat.
It wasn't too bad, but all of that is true.
Shall we change the name of the show? 2 divorced guys and one not too far behind.
I mean, that's what we could focus on.
Yeah. Well, that's all behind us. That's all behind us, right? It's a new year.
I did have a good new year, and I got to spend a lot of time with my beautiful kids, and things are great. And I'm single, so can you call, ladies? But otherwise,
yeah. Let me tell you, it didn't work for me. But go ahead and work it anyhow. You're younger. When I tried to use that show for my purpose, it didn't work.
Well, I think out of the 5 people that listen to this podcast, 4 are guys, and I think the other one's my mom. So
right,
it's not gonna happen from here.
Hey, don't tempt Lisle, man. He might call her for a date.
Say, I didn't know that there was somebody available out there in podcast land. No.
Mrs. Bennett, I'm Mr. Lisle. And Drew would make
Pleased to meet you, ma'am.
How would you rate your 2018, Lloyd?
I would give it about looking at my W-2 today, I'm going to have to drop it down a few notches because it was not as good as 2017. So, but from a life standpoint, I'd give it a 6.5, 7.
6.5 out of 10?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not too bad.
But not great.
I mean, it's okay. Daughter started college. Another daughter
Don't
started
you want
high
to bump
school.
it up to maybe a 7 or
I'm shooting for an 8 this year. That's what I'm shooting.
6.5's a little conservative. Is all.
Well,
I'm saying.
I am a conservative.
I think he's a realist. Or
It implies that he had a slightly above average year.
Right.
Yeah. And I think most of them kind of settle in there.
What are you, a 6.5 this year too?
Sure,
Joe?
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I just celebrated just last week 1 year without employment this time. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Did you make anything in your wood shop there, like a new table or a toy box for the grandkids or anything?
In fact, really, I made absolutely no money last year.
0.
So I'm waiting to see what that's gonna. Because I'm nerdy that way. I want to see what it's gonna be like when I do my taxes.
I'd like to see that one.
So I want to see. I made a little bit because of the Cox radio pension.
Right.
Not to rub it in your face.
No, it's okay. I have to wait a little while before I get mine. I think mine's going to be about $12 a month or something like that.
But it's coming, right?
Yeah, it's coming one of these days.
Free money. But yeah, it was like, what do you think, Drew? I mean, you went through a lot of stuff last year. What was it for you?
Oh, I'll give you a 2.5.
Okay.
I'll give
Well,
you
you've had some
2.5
good
on the
years
street
then.
one this year.
That's good.
Yeah, I've had some good years, and this one was a bad year. I mean, it hasn't put me in some kind of emotional hole, but it's been, a bad year. I mean, my best friend died and had a stroke on January 18th. I got divorced at the end of the year. My dog passed away.
But your kids are fine.
But I've had some other good things, right? So I've got a good job. My kids are good. My car runs. I've got, money in the bank.
Dude, you got to bump that up. That's where you need to bump up to maybe like a 6.
Yeah.
No,
right?
I'm taking the 2 deaths and the failure of my marriage and putting it at a 2.5. I think that's fair.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying the older you get, death is going to be coming. It'll be more of a commonplace occurrence.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And so I look at that. I mean, 2014 was a really crappy year for me because, my wife moved out and I lost my job a couple of months later. And then, there was death and it was bad, but I still wouldn't even peg that at a 2.5. Just because I looked and I said, well, my children are alive. If I had the death of a child, that would suck. That would not be good. That would take me way down. But, overall, I could still walk. Kids are all right. There it was. I mean, I'm sure there's a little bit of upside for you. I mean, look at it this way, Drew. You could be Lloyd.
Clarence. I think an angel just got his wing there, Lyle. So carry on.
You could be Lloyd. Okay?
Yep.
So that's what I do. I always put it in perspective in my life. I go, well, I could be Lloyd.
Right. Well, I'm happy to say one good thing about 2019 is David Eric Grohl turns 50 today on the day we're recording this Beaver Cool Aid. So Dave Grohl, I will be dropping in some Dave Grohl nuances and little tidbits you may not have known about this famous drummer, now frontman, throughout Beaver Cool Aid today. Can I start off with one right now?
Yeah.
Wrote his first song about his dog. And the song was called Bitch.
Oh, great timing, by the way, Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
In honor of his dog named BG. There you go.
Okay.
That's my first one for tonight. Carry on.
Well, good for Dave Grohl.
And
it's
his
weird
bitch.
that he's 50 years old.
Yeah,
I will
he's
say
50 years old.
But you just slid that in there. I mean, Drew's talking about his damn dog.
Well, I was trying to make him happy.
And there you are, and you say, yeah, he wrote this song about his dog.
Is who lived for 15 years.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember, Dave was...
Lloyd, timing. Couldn't you go to another tidbit?
All right.
You had different tidbits. Why lead with that one?
There's better stuff. That was the weakest of the 8 I have.
Yeah, but I mean, the weakest was the sharpest because you just stabbed Drew.
All right, how about this one? I'll go all the way to number 8.
That is nice. His other one was about divorce at Christmas. Oh man,
James had 3 wives.
He wakes up at 5 a.m. every single day, and has said he would like to do a morning show known as the Lisle and Grohl Show in San Antonio in 2020.
Yeah, baby.
How about that? There's more.
Yeah, baby.
There's more. Oh, there's more. Plenty more. I've got
There's more.
I did a little
Doesn't seem
show
like a
prep
fact.
tonight.
Doesn't seem like a fact.
And he had this other one, this song called My Best Friend Died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another one. Here, let me play some of it.
Should I
12
play?
years ago, my best friend died, skyrocketed to number 1.
Then I wrote the song My
There
Hero.
it is, another Dave Grohl tidbit from L.A. Lloyd. Thank you. Great, but I countered with Jeff Tate is 60 today.
Well, you should. You're from San Antonio, and I would expect no less from a city that loves Queensryche. So
Queen of the Reich.
right.
I played the EP.
60.
I was front row at a Queensryche concert when they launched their tour in Amarillo, Texas. I can't remember the album. It was later. But they were good in concert, man, back in the day, buddy.
You know, I want to give it up to Jeff Tate because, you know, he had the receding hairline for many years in the 90s, and he finally just said, fuck it, and shaved it all off. Now he's bald. I just can't go there. I'm just still not quite
I was
there.
going to say, Lloyd, and
Well, I'm just, you know,
he's the older boy to you.
he's-
Take a cue from your older brother.
What you could do here
He's
in this
60.
case is you could go the Poison route, and
Right.
you could do the Bret Michaels bandana. Have you thought about that?
No, I like that idea better.
Yeah, but see, it works better if you've been wearing the bandana all the way through.
So you think
Don't you have all those leg bandanas you
See,
can
I
pull
still
out?
have
if you
those
go
left
Hulk
over.
Hogan at this point,
right?
it ain't going to be the same because people already know what's there.
Yeah, I can't hide it.
But you could go Macho Man. I mean, if you went Macho Man, I think everybody would kind of give you the pass.
You think
That's
so?
what Macho Man did too. Oh yeah, he was all about the bandanas too. Oh yeah.
So,
like-
okay, Lloyd, 2019, a bandana.
Bandana.
Well, you've
year
been
for
trying
you.
to get me to grow that thing down my back for years since I had the Harley. You've been trying to get me to grow a tail, so you know I could have the bandana and
You
the,
should have a braided tail.
little
It's
bra-
the part that grows,
Listen,
dude.
If you're gonna go with braided tail, though, here's what you need to do. You're gonna have to go and buy yourself like 10 or 12 turtlenecks
yeah.
and some kind of medallion.
Oh, just saying medallion, it gave me the willies.
All right, me too.
God, I start to.
And you need one of those belts with like the silver tips and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
on them.
Some bullets.
Mhm.
I was thinking about getting a motorcycle chain. I kind of like
You
that
know, if
better.
you could just,
No,
if you
no,
just
that would
picture,
ruin
I
the
just
look.
pictured that for a second with Lloyd, and you have to, I mean, just for a moment,
Yeah.
it wasn't pleasant,
It's not a bad look on him.
but
You know, like one of those dark teal turtlenecks
Yeah.
with some kind of a stone medallion.
okay, we got, so these
Or a
are just,
bolo.
You don't
could
think I should
with a
go for
bolo.
any turquoise or anything? I mean, it is kind of the Southwest.
I mean, if you want to go turquoise on your belt in the back, then by all means.
Right.
yeah, but only put the guy's name in turquoise on the back of your belt. So,
L.A.
I used to like to see guys that had a belt with their name on the back of it. It's like,
And then man,
what's
you
your
could
name?
You could stay here. You could move to Santa Fe. You could do whatever you want. Taos. You can move to some art town.
How about
Make
that,
a new
Lloyd?
life.
I'm sure you've thought about that in your life.
I have.
Yeah,
I'm
your
contemplating
turtlenecks.
it right now.
So do you guys do, the whole thing where you try to make changes with the turn of the calendar year?
No.
You do that at
Well,
all?
I am because I have a little bit of a goal this year because over the holidays, one of my high school classmates sent me an email and said, hey, you know what's coming up in 2019, right? The big 40-year reunion. I was like, oh my God, just to hear that makes me feel fucking ancient. So then I was like, okay, do I do what most people do, try to work out a little bit, you know, to look good for people that they really didn't give a shit about when they were in high school with them together? Because that's kind of what it was with me. I really didn't have any friends there. So why would I put myself through grueling diet, exercise?
No, why would you go?
Well, yeah, that's true.
Why go
To
if you
show
didn't
off.
have any friends?
Well,
To show off his new bandanas.
Right.
That must be it. Yeah. And your tail.
Yeah. Well, I want to show him a picture of me and Metallica just to show him. It's like, hey.
Yeah, so that's what you want to do. You want to go and just kind of rub something in their face.
Right. That's what it is.
Because otherwise, why go to a reunion with people you didn't know or you weren't friends with?
We're all Leos, so we got to have something left, when you're going to a 40-year high school reunion. I mean, 1979 to 2019.
And what do? You guys get together for a tractor pull?
Hey, let me tell you where it's at, too, John. You'll appreciate this, and I doubt anyone else listening to this podcast would. Maybe you should Google map it, but it's going to be in the big town. You ready, John? Of Middlesex, North Carolina. How about that?
And there is a Middlesex.
Right.
That sounds like there could be some Middlesex going on.
That is not a joke.
Didn't they do a reality show from Middlesex?
They did one from
or
Lizard Lake.
They did it from Lizard Lake.
Lizard Lake,
I guess.
but not Middlesex.
But not Middlesex. Yes, there is a Middlesex.
You should pull out that picture and go with the big guns and show them the picture of you blowing Metallica. I think they would really like to see that one. Yeah, this is how important I got, guys.
Yeah. Look at me on my knees.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
No, but it's good to go back and connect with that part of your life. I mean,
why?
Because there are no guarantees for tomorrow, and this has been your life, and it's nice to go back and reconnect with some of that. You're not going to enjoy.
If I was going to reconnect with it, I would have done it over the last 50 years.
But let me tell you this:
or 40 years, or whatever it is.
Here was the weird thing about that email. So she, gave me the details on where it was going to be at. And then she said, well, here's all the, every name on a spreadsheet. We still have about 40% we haven't contacted yet. Here's the faculty who's been contacted, who's going to be there, which I was like, wow, they're all still alive. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And then it was like, I started thinking, I was like, well, I wasn't really friends with this person, or I kind of dated this girl once or twice. So I was like, it might be kind of cool to see this person and this person. Then I opened the third spreadsheet, and it's all the deceased classmates. Yeah. And I mean, we had 365-ish that graduated. There's probably about 35 names. So we're looking, almost 10% of our class is no longer with us. Mm-hmm. And I was going like, yeah, I want to see. Oh, nope, he's on the list. Yeah, it was that girl. Nope, she's on the list. So I started going like, geez, Louise, man, this has turned out to be quite depressing. So I don't know if I want to go.
Well,
or
look
not.
at it this way, Lloyd. I mean, you have to wait for a while for this reunion, don't you?
It's April 27th.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't tomorrow.
Right. So
I mean, it really just cuts down your odds on Middlesex when you're there.
This is a cheerful show to begin 2019, isn't it?
Well, it's things to look forward to. Your 40th high school reunion and things.
I missed it.
We made it past all the horrific things of the holidays, and here we are.
And you're not on that third sheet, so that's good.
Right.
Now that's what I was going to say. Now your reunions are all about the third sheet.
Yeah, don't want to make the third sheet.
Let's honor the third sheeters.
Right.
You go because you're not on the third sheet, and
just
that's
the
why
fact that they would send that out. A sheet of deceased classmates.
Right?
That's just bizarre.
Yeah,
you guys are the third sheeters.
I'm just thinking, what I was waiting for them was like, well, hey, you're kind
this
of.
This truly is 3 sheets to the wind,
right?
Future third sheeters.
I was waiting for this girl to go like, well, you're kind of into production audio. You think you could put together a little memoriam thing, like a little like a
in memoriam,
right?
It would be 45 minutes long.
It would last longer than the reunion. Oh man, that's horrible.
Gosh, no, I just don't tend to make resolutions because of a calendar year.
Yeah.
Because every day I resolve to do something that's a little bit better when I wake up.
Right.
And my resolve slowly vanishes throughout the day. And then I find like at 9:35 at night, I have no more resolve. It's gone. And then the next day I wake up, it's the same thing every day.
And you did hear that Dave Grohl wakes up at 5 a.m. every single day. I
heard that from a little tidbit on, I believe, a Beaver Cool Aid podcast.
Right, there it is.
He likes to drink a lot of coffee, that guy.
Yeah, he does. Here's one for you.
And they had to take him to the hospital one time because he drank too much coffee.
If you had to pick out the
A
album,
little fucking tidbit for your fucking trivia.
If you
list
had-
Now,
there,
wait a
Lloyd.
minute. I heard that's a wives' tale. That was a quart of semen that they got out of his stomach.
What?
Okay, go ahead, Lloyd.
if you had to pick an album or a band that convinced Dave Grohl he should be a drummer, what do you think it would be?
Led Zeppelin.
Good answer. Drew, what do you say?
I mean, I would say either Led Zeppelin or The Who, but probably Led Zeppelin.
Good news is you're both wrong.
Oh, Phil Collins.
It was Rush's album 2112. The moment he knew he wanted to be a drummer, he heard it for the first time while visiting family in Chicago, took it back to his home in Virginia, and here's something to kind of take us forward many years after. You may remember Dave and his drummer Taylor Hawkins inducted Rush into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2013.
Wow.
I
Heavy.
get it now. Wow, it all came in full circle.
Get it now? Get it now?
It's like behind the music.
Well, there's more. I got more.
It's like the Wikipedia.
We
the
could go on all
Wikipedia
night.
of rock and roll.
Hey, Drew, I want to ask you about a place in your town there. Speaking of hometowns, the Drunken Oyster. You know that
Yeah.
place?
Mm-hmm.
Good?
I have not eaten there.
Well, I read this today before we came on. Government employees affected by the partial government shutdown gets free lunch tomorrow. That would be Tuesday, January 15th at the Drunken Oyster.
That is I mean, as far as restaurants in Amarillo goes, that's a pretty nice restaurant.
Right.
You have to wear shoes.
Yeah.
You got to wear shoes. Can no overalls. And you have to have all of your teeth.
Right.
And those are real oysters, not a horse's nut.
It's Amarillo. You know, there's a couple of good oyster bars in Amarillo. Scott's Oyster Bar, I'll give a shout out to because they've been around forever.
I was
But
kind of
these new
curious
ones,
why they call it
Amarillo's grown quite a bit. Shout out to
Cat fries, baby.
the Drunken Oyster.
Big
That's what
Texan.
I was thinking, John. I'm thinking that's not an oyster. That's probably something that
You
came out
get
of,
loaded, and you gotta, yeah.
that might be some pork nuts.
So there you go. Yeah, I couldn't tell. Don't you see, man? They reuse the shells.
Yeah, I've not eaten there, but that's nice that they're doing that. Good for those.
Like the people
good
are
for them.
doing that now.
Well,
you
what
know.
people don't know about Amarillo is that it's known as Bomb City. And
Why is
that
that?
means, well, because Pantex is in Amarillo, and that's where the nation's nuclear weapons are made and dismantled, Lloyd.
Wait a minute. They make them and they dismantle them?
Yeah, all right over there at Pantex. So we have a lot of couriers that live in Amarillo, and
So-
those are military personnel who deliver nuclear weapons to various locales across the country.
So they'll be eating free tomorrow between 11 and 2.
I don't know if they're
before
affected.
they're annihilated.
I don't know if they're affected, but I will tell you that we also have Paladary Canyon. I don't know if that gets affected by any kind of, but it's a state, park. It's the second largest canyon in
Yeah,
the
but
U.S.
that's
behind the Grand Canyon.
Paladuro is a state park, so you're cool.
Is that right?
Just Big Bend
Okay.
is the one that's affected here.
Well, we don't have, we've got the helium monument there. Maybe that got shut down.
I can only imagine.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done. Well done.
But that's nice that they're doing that.
But Drew, you don't have any big goals for the year? You don't do that? Just
No, I got some goals at work that I want to get, done, that I need to get done. I'm saving up to, buy a house, which is going to be difficult to do in Travis County. Because
Good luck
I
with
decided
that.
to do it now.
As
Yeah.
a single man with 3 kids.
Well, you can, as
Lloyd,
John
you are
knows,
on a make Drew feel good journey, aren't you?
Yeah, right. He's like, yeah.
Good luck with that, pal.
Here's
God,
a song called "You'll Never Buy a House."
single man, 3 kids,
On the
Travis
countdown.
County, corrected vision. Good luck.
Hey, you know who can't afford a house? Dave Grohl played his first gig with Nirvana October
Dave Grohl
11th,
has 50 houses.
1990, the North Shore Surf Club in Olympia, Washington. Later, he moved in with Kurt Cobain in the 1-bedroom apartment in Olympia, stayed there for 8 months, slept on his couch, and said this time was, quote, chaos.
I believe it. And I moved away from Seattle in 1989. I just missed all that.
You did.
Somebody clapping to the Dave
Yeah, me.
Grohl
I keep
trivia?
clapping. I'm clapping because I'm just so
masturbating to the
appreciative
Dave
of
Grohl
these
trivia.
tidbits. Sorry, man. I swear it's clapping.
Oh my god,
It does sound like
love
you're
hearing
masturbating.
Facts.
I'm not
Give
going to
me
lie.
more facts.
More facts. More facts here on Dave Grohl's 50th birthday,
Wow.
the 14th of January.
You start
We're not
breathing a
supposed to
little
date podcast, are we? Hey, how about those Cowboys? I think they stand a chance.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I'm going for the Saints. That's my fallback when the Cowboys get annihilated.
I hope the Chiefs win because I used to live in Kansas City and they're doing well. I hope they beat New England and I hope they go on and win the Super Bowl.
Well,
good for them.
even though they're used to the cold weather, the forecast as of today says it could get as low as -5 degrees, and that's
Good.
that's cold for even old Mr. Brady there.
That's
is
what
the
I like
game?
to see, Lloyd.
When
You
is
know, the thing
game?
is, there's no weather advantage here.
I would hate to be the guy catching that pass from Mahomes, though, man. Can you imagine what your fingers must feel like catching a pass from that guy when it's 0 or
Hey,
I
has
got to
anybody-
tell you know what? It's even better being in the stands when it's 0.
oh yeah.
Has anybody seen Patrick Mahomes? I mean, the kid looks like he's like 10 years old, 10 or 12. I mean, he looks like a kid.
Because he is. They're going to keep looking like that too, Drew.
Is that the deal? Yeah, he's the first time that I've seen a guy in the NFL where I looked at him and went,
I'd fuck him.
right?
There are going to be times,
You're right.
man, you turn to that chick on the sofa and you go, God, that kid looks younger than you.
Yeah,
That's-
right.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, the picture of this guy, I mean, he looks, literally 12 or 13. I mean, he's much younger looking than the rest of his teammates.
Well, I think it's wild. You can't discount anyone here. You know, that's you got the 4 best teams this year are in.
Yeah, I agree.
So there they are. No spoiler. It's done. They were the 4 best teams. They're there.
But I tell you one thing, if I was Jerry Jones, I'd be calling Nick Foles right now and said, Dak's got about another year. We need
Not
you
gonna
here.
happen.
We need you here
Not gonna happen.
in Dallas.
Not going to happen. Let me tell you, Scott Linehan and Jason Garrett are going to be back next year, and so is Dak.
Ugh.
And he's going to be leading the team, and
Yeah.
you're going to have to live with it, man.
It's gonna be another fucking Groundhog's Day 20 years later.
Of course.
I bet we make the playoffs. I bet
Cowboys!
we'll make the playoffs next year. We'll do it.
You'll get one game. Sorry.
Well, there's only one team that goes and wins the entire thing every year. I don't know. Everybody calls these other
Really?
31 teams losers. There's only one team that does it.
That would be the Foo Fighters.
And tell us more about Dave Grohl.
Dave, what was Dave's number in high school?
I will give you a good number about Dave. He's a generous tipper. He's known to drop at least $1,000 tips in bars. Last August, he was at the old Rainbow there in L.A. Bar tab was $333.30. He rounded it up to $666.30, trying to be that little devilish guy he is.
I don't know. Here's what I think. I think when you have that kind of money, you got that kind of money. And so, yeah, you can leave those kinds of tips.
Right.
But I think that what happens is that when you're that famous and you go into a bar like that, you're causing some kind of an issue for the bar. You know what I mean?
So. Nah.
And I think the guys who are nice end up tipping, the bar because they've gone in and caused some kind of disruption. I'm not talking about like trashing the bar. I'm just saying, man, you're so famous. You're standing there like that. I think the nice guys like Dave Grohl who double their tips are just doing it to go, hey, I'm sorry that I stood here for an hour and a half and made life miserable for you.
Lloyd, you buying it?
No, not at all. I think Dave's a very approachable guy. I don't think he lives in that spotlight bullshit. I think he's. That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
He's a good dude.
No, I don't think. I'm
No,
not
Drew
saying
is
he's going
saying
to
he's
flaunt his
dropping
money.
some extra bucks because he knows it's, maybe his presence is a bit disruptive to the normal flow of
No, I
business.
got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Lloyd is saying he's just being a nice guy.
He's just
It has
making
nothing
it
to do
rain.
with that. He's just there. Here's some extra bones for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, if I was worth
I wouldn't do
$350
that.
million,
I do the same thing I always did. Don't look at me like all of a sudden I got to give you big tips. What the hell is that? Then everybody's looking for a big tip. And they read about another big Dave Grohl tip, and it minimizes what they got as a tip.
that is true.
Screw that. I mean, here it is. Here's my tip,
I should have made a double.
Here's your
man.
tip. I don't know.
What's the biggest tip you've ever left, Drew? Not on your dime, not on the company you work for, but
100% of whatever it was. I mean, I don't even know what size that would have been, but I've left 100% tips for people that I felt like not like, oh, the service was magnifique. I mean, the service was good, the person was good. They probably needed it in my estimation at the time.
But it was no dining experience like the Drunken Oyster in Amarillo.
I mean, it was nothing like
where you're going to be tipping that kind of dough anyhow.
Because you get a free meal. Anything you tip's going to be a big tip.
Maitre d'.
Right. You wouldn't believe how meaty the moistures were, too. You said tip, which reminds me of bit, and then I start thinking tidbit, and it is Dave Grohl's birthday.
It is.
Lloyd?
Hey, did you know that Dave wrote his big song, This Is a Call? He was on his honeymoon with his first wife. They're in Dublin. He was with the photographer Jennifer Youngblood. And he said the verse to the song is, quote, bullshit. He wrote that while he was in the bathroom, possibly taking a shit. I'm just adding that, embellishing the story a little bit.
Because that's the way Lloyd is, and obviously things haven't changed from last year.
Right.
Go ahead.
He said, but the chorus meant a lot to him as he was finally able to say, which is very fitting for this show, goodbye to the past.
Wow. Wow, happy birthday, Dave Grohl.
Deep, man. Deep.
50 today. That's great, man. That's great. I just want to thank all of you for being with us, and I just got to say, I got to ask you to do us all a favor, because I was talking to a big fan of the show, of the podcast the other day. And of course, he wanted to know where we've been. And I let him know that we've had a bit of a hiatus, but we're going to be back. But we need to ask everybody that uses the podcast to please share it.
Right.
I don't think we say that enough. Please share it.
No. And look, I have this new iPad I got for Christmas that makes it much easier to play your recorded calls. 855-576-2530. That's 855-576-2530. We will play any and every call that comes in.
Any and every?
Yeah.
How about that?
Because we've only had about 7 since we started the show back in 2012, so that shouldn't be too much of a dare.
I heard that iPad comes with that canned laughter.
Yeah, I wish I had that, and I haven't put that on the button bar yet. But
there it is again. Yeah, that's cool. Can do that. But please share it.
Oh, boy.
Share it. Participate. Let us know. Drew's looking for the rebounder.
Right.
Lloyd's looking for.
Just looking for some just any kind of new or used bandanas.
I'm looking for Jeff Bezos to give me a job at Amazon Music so I can make about $250.
You don't want to work for Amazon.
Well, look, if I can make about $250 to $500,000 a year for the next 10 years, and then I can retire, I'd be fine.
You'll be up to your ears in those teal turtlenecks.
Hey, Lloyd, my name's Matt. I'm 28 years old. I've got 2 MBAs, one in computer science and the other in marketing.
Yeah.
And just got this job at Amazon Music. They just hired me, so
yeah.
I'm the only one they're going to hire. So it doesn't
come
look like
here
they have
and
any more
help
openings.
us curate some music.
But I'm 28. I'm 28 years old, and I just have some questions about music. Just whenever you can give me a call back.
Let me tell you guys something about Alexa, Echo. I mean, this thing Apple fucking completely missed the boat on this thing. So I feel like I'm a pretty smart guy when it comes to, the smart radio, whatever you want. What is it? A smart speaker? What is it defined as? What is Echo?
I think it's a home assistant or something like that. I know it's
okay,
called an
so
assistant.
I go to my sister's house over the holidays,
Home automation.
And she has 8 in her home now. 8. Okay.
Yeah.
I have 3 or 4 maybe throughout the house with the kids and outside, whatever. She's got 8. And so she just bought this new house last year. And then, I'm like, well, I just left the kitchen and the same music playing in the kitchen is now playing on the patio. How are you doing this multi-room thing? She takes me through the entire thing. I mean, here's just a traditional housewife consumer who is into this shit big time, man. I mean, she's got zones. Music, Sure. So
she just bugged herself all over her house.
She did.
Alexa's listening to her. They're listening to whatever she says.
Everything. She taking her a BM.
Every time they listen to that BM.
This thing has grown
They'll market toilet paper
75% in 1 year. Again, huge growth. So is Big Brother finally here? Is that what it is?
No, here's the thing. Listen, you guys. Those machines don't work like that.
Right.
Okay? This is not a Batman. They've got like a matrix of every speaker open. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
Alexa doesn't have the kind of memory that it would take to record your stupid voice and all of the things that you say in your home. As boring as you are, as I am.
Have you done the routine yet? So I have a good morning routine and a good night routine. So in the morning I go, good morning, Alexa. Good morning, Lloyd. Make this the best day ever. Here's your weather and your drive today to KLBJ. Going to be a little slow. Probably take you about 47 minutes to get to work. And then it kicks right into Dudley and Bob with Matt. At night, when I go to bed, good night, Alexa. Good night, Lloyd. Sleep well. Light just fades out. It doesn't just turn off. It kind of does a slow fade.
You're in love.
So I have Philips Hue bulbs that change whatever color I want.
Oh yeah, it's great.
And when I come home and enter the house, it's blue and red lights blinking to the beat of KRS-One, Sound of the Police. And that's what happens when I come home.
You might as well get used to those blue and red
going
lights.
there, but all of a sudden I went, nah, I think I'm going to go ahead and...
Well, hey, listen, I mean, God forbid I say kiss. God forbid I say kiss or anything and offend you with my classic rock music tastes.
Hey, look,
I went in with KRS-One knowing that I wouldn't have to worry about it either way.
Well, be kind to all, especially Alexa.
Right.
But share, okay? Share.
We always thought White Stripes was original of Jack and his sister, wife, cousin, whatever. They had a band, White Stripes. Before that happened, Dave was in a little band with his sister in 1992 called Alistair Lobb. Alistair Lobb.
What does his sister do now? What does she do now?
That I do not know. I think she has a home near my sister, and they share secrets about Alexa.
Man, I was right in the middle, right? I was just right. I was almost there. I needed one more fact.
Drop the sister in.
And ruined it.
Stop.
This is the first time that
manages
I've had...
the night shift at the Drunken Oyster.
Right. That's it.
So she is.
I love it.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to? I think we should circle back to. Are you going to grow this rat tail or not? I mean, what's really going to happen here?
Actually, I have ambitions to try to get some more on top first. So I'm taking the 5% Rogaine just to see if I can get a hair, not two, but just a hair.
Is this the first time that you've done it?
Rogaine? I tried
just any kind of hair growth.
I tried it back in my 30s and just got bored with it. So I thought I'd give it one final shot before the high school reunion. Give it 4 months. Maybe.
Have you tried Hims?
It's the same thing as Rogaine. It's just a different marketing.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's the same shit.
Oh, I thought he was talking church.
Yeah. Have you tried praying about it?
Pray. Just pray,
Have you tried praying
Lloyd.
about this?
God.
Have you tried going to
I
Jesus?
need some hair, Please,
Jesus,
God.
I need some hair.
I will wear sandals just like you if you'll give me that sweet flowing mane that you
That's
have.
the problem.
Jesus,
Nobody ever went to Jesus about it.
That's right. I hadn't thought about that. Look at that flowing mane he had, man. I mean, it was,
Yeah, but the problem with that is it's supposed to come from the baldness is supposed to come from your mother's side.
Right.
Well, I mean, hey, kind of stopped somewhere in there.
I don't know what happened. I'm working on it though. But I could resort to a weave.
I was
or
going to
a
say, have you
bandana.
thought about hair club for men where you glue it on and whatever?
It goes back to what Lisle said earlier. It's like, they've already seen me. So if I went to a new city where no one knew me,
Then
maybe
he could rug it
Don't
up.
you remember,
rug
Lloyd,
it up.
when we worked at Star System and Don Miller would sometimes come with a toupee and sometimes not? Like on a Monday, Tuesday, he's bald Don, right?
Right.
But then on Thursday, Friday, he's ready to swing it out.
But I got to tell you, man.
And he wears the toupee.
I got to tell
But
you,
I-
he
it
dropped
honestly didn't bother
he
me.
dropped 20 years in age when he put that thing on. It was weird.
It didn't bother me. That's what I'm saying. Maybe you just kind of go with it.
Yeah.
Well, I've never seen a good rug, but I got to tell you, that guy's got nuts because, usually you just want to say to somebody, look, you really look better without the rug. But for a
Right.
guy that can go, some days, I wear it, other days I don't wear it.
Right.
That's a guy that's got, he's at ease with himself.
He's confident.
Like it's a hat.
Yeah. That's
Some
what I
days
should
don't.
do.
Some days I go with hair. Some days I don't.
Yes.
Give a fuck.
Today
what
I feel like
see.
being bald. Tomorrow, I'm going to look like.
maybe
But he would do it.
Yeah.
maybe we could start a Go Hair Me.
So one time I was in Boston. I was at this radio station and I was talking to this dude, and he was a sales guy, big major accounts. I mean, this guy's major market sales guy, and he had it was called the GLH formula from Ron Popeil. Do you guys remember that?
Oh, yeah, the
GLH
spray-on.
was called Great Looking Hair. Is what
Right.
it stood for, and it was a spray on right from the can. And he had sprayed that on that day and a little smudge right there on the forehead, a little smudge down. And I couldn't look at anything but the smudge all day. but I was like, man, you've got balls of steel behind that braided belt and those pleated pants, my friend. I mean, you are
Spray on
spraying
here,
your
you go with
fucking
Ron
hair
Popeil.
on.
Plus, if you
go.
because you got to be confident because any kind of flop sweat and the whole head starts to melt.
That's
Anything
bad.
like you get into any kind of lights, any kind of lighting, you got to worry about all.
You
of
got
that.
to stay in a dark room. Yeah. You can't have the fluorescence over your
So I like
your paint.
I'm a successful guy, even though it looks like I shit on my head.
Okay, final Dave Grohl tidbit for tonight. We'll go through the 8th one here. Dave was in a pretty successful band known as Nirvana, and he was, being asked constantly to be a guest on other musicians' albums. Fearing that he would get sued from Geffen Records, who was the label of the, of course, legendary album Nevermind, Dave would use a pseudonym, and he was credited on many other artists as Dale Nixon. Dale Nixon. So next time if you see a Foo Fighters bus at a hotel, walk up to the front desk and say, hey, can you ring up Dale Nixon's room? Chances are you might have Dave waiting on the other end of the line.
Wow.
Dale Nixon.
Yeah.
I
There it
didn't
is.
know about that one. Hang on a second.
That's from L.A. Lloyd,
Ooh,
hosted the Rock 30 Countdown.
Don't
that was
ask
a
me
good
anymore. That's
fact.
all I got.
That was a
Beautiful.
very good fact, Lloyd.
Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you, one and all. Share, please.
I can close out the show tonight if you'd like with the last 4 lines of my Christmas poem.
Sure.
All right. Actually, let me give you 8 lines. They heard him exclaim as he roared across the lawn, "Blessed Christmas to all," and then he was gone. Pawpaw's eyes gleamed the next morning when he saw his new boat. Mama said, "Enjoy it and don't forget your thank you note." Now, the social media is all new to me. Facebook and Instagram, you see. Now, some of y'all like to use Twitter. Except for old cousin Ed, who's still cleaning out the shitter. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Classic Lloyd, ending with the poop joke. Good. I liked it. It's fine.
And obviously, he resolved to remove that from the repertoire for 2019.
I vote you're going to Hollywood or whatever.
I will go to your party and I will tear it up.
Really? Beaver Cool Aid.
Hit it hard.
With Lisle, L.A. Lloyd, and Drew.
Make it like a man.
So go ahead, stick your head up your ass.